Good evening, folks. Welcome to the first round of the 2023 ARB Off-Road Racing Championship here at Rainbow. Now, it's going to be a big year. This is round 1 of 4, and we're just here in the main street of Rainbow lining up some cars. Cars are going through scrutiny. We're going to have a quick chat with the drivers. I'm Sandy Bowman. I'll be joining you and doing some live feed action for the weekend. So if I make any mistakes, please forgive me, come up and correct me. We've got first off up here, we're just adjusting some mic feedback as well, but first off up here we've got a fair few cars already through scrutiny. We've got the Foster car 411 in, going through at the moment. Chappie. We may as well have a chat with a few drivers to start off with. I went round the track today. It was quite dusty on the first 10 or 15 kilometres, and then it gets quite rough, I've got to tell you. It's built for buggies, and we've got a very high profile field this weekend. We've got some of Australia's best drivers, or most of Australia's best drivers here. We're going to see some good action. I think there's about 62 cars entered. We had one car, or our own car, drop out early. So let's get into it. Let's go and have a chat to a few drivers, see what they've chopped and changed throughout the off-season, see what new navigators, new cars. We may as well, we might wander around the back and have a quick chat to a few as they come into their park up. The 430 entry of the nickel folk. This car's been around for a while. Very well presented cars here today. They're going through all the essentials, all the safety items. They'll be doing things like testing the cars have reverse, testing horns, checking fire extinguishers, safety equipment such as seatbelt cutters in the correct position, checking Stuart Chapman's reverse in his buggy. It's his first season, I believe, in the pro buggy. We may as well grab you first, Chappie. I know you're in the middle of working hard and pleasing and appeasing the scrutineers.
Yeah.
How is it?
Oh, fantastic.
You ready?
Maybe. Had a look at the track today. Looks a bit scary, a bit fast, but out for a good time.
Yeah, for sure. I went round myself. It was quite dusty that first pit, so hopefully you can get some clean air out early.
Yeah, hopefully it'll prologue pretty well and get out in the front and hopefully have a nice run.
First season in this car? Or did you do a couple last year?
I did the Mickey Thompson short course series, well, the Queensland series last year in this car, and did all right, but hopefully to come race with some of the big boys and see how we go.
Very well. Good luck. We're going to catch up with them throughout the weekend. The Chapmans are quite a big in the off-road racing scene. They're down from Queensland. They've got running a 2-car team with Clayton and Stuart, the two brothers. I started racing against Stu's brother Clayton early on in the early 2000s in Class 8, so they've stepped it up a bit. I'm still stuck in Class 8 apparently. All right, we'll go for a walk through. We've got Craig Crogg's car here. I actually don't know Craig too well, so I probably have to introduce myself and get a bit of info on him and his car. How are you, mate?
G'day, mate. My name's Craig, and we travelled down from southeast Queensland to give it a go. We're a little family team and relatively new to off-road racing in this sort of concept, so just outside here, giving it a go.
Awesome. This is your first championship round?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You've done some smaller club rounds prior?
We have, yeah. We've done a few rounds in southeast Queensland, and we dipped our toe in the water at Burdekin and Don River and had a few good goes up there.
I'm sure you've done Don River, so you're going to be fine out here.
Well, we'll see how we go.
Car's good to go. See you in pro class. Tell us a little bit about the car. I don't know too much about you or your team, to be honest, so Like I said, correct me if I have any information that's wrong throughout the weekend.
Excellent. Yeah, well, it's a 2009 Razorback Australian-built car. She's running a 6-litre Chev, and just keeping it basic, keeping it simple, and try and keep it on the wheels.
Yeah, that's nice. Very nice. All right. Well, good luck for the weekend. We'll see you throughout the weekend anyway.
Awesome.
We're just going for a quick wander through, and we'll come back and catch up with you throughout the weekend. Cheers. There you go, another 6-litre. I know Chappie's, I was just thinking before, Stuart's car, I'm not too sure what motor Stuart's running. Can't even tell you from here, but Clayton was running 2JZ in that thing. That sounds amazing. Let's go, I don't know, let's just go for a wander. So, to start off with, we've got some amazing sponsors throughout this championship. We've got ARB on board. We've got Mickey Thompson Tyres. They're two of the biggest sponsors here. They've carried the event, the championship from day one, and without them, this wouldn't go on. So, and I can see there's a ton of Mickey Thompson Tyres on cars out here. So. Mr. Habe here. Hey mate, I saw you were more struggling in the pre-run today than I've ever seen you. How'd you like it?
Well, that was actually my mate's car, so Brad kindly donated his four-wheel drive for the day, and I did struggle a little bit, but we got there.
How's the car holding up? Ready to go? Done anything changes from last year on the off-season?
No, not really. We've just given it a bit of a service, kick the tyres and see what happens.
Beautiful. That's what we like. Nice and easy. And Liz is in the seat with you?
Yeah, this time here, this weekend, we probably got put Liz in for the Saturday, and then my daughter Chelsea come in on Sunday. So yeah, we have mixed up a little bit, and hopefully Chelsea will be looking forward to the rough stuff, I reckon.
Yeah, beautiful. There, I noticed I went out there today, and that first 10 or 15 k's on the way out's quite dusty, and I'm hoping the breeze picks up, because if you're stuck behind anyone in that first section, it's going to be pretty rubbish. What about the that sand out in the desert there when you hit the edge of the desert?
Yeah, that sand looks pretty awesome, eh? The whoops are nice and big, and yeah, it's going to be a bit of a challenge, but that's what we're here for, eh?
And I can guarantee this thing will handle it, no worries.
Yeah, I reckon it will too. So yeah, no, looking forward to the whole weekend. It's a great turn of some great quality cars, and yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Awesome. All right, well, good luck. We'll catch you throughout the weekend as well. Beautiful Element buggies these guys have had for a few years now. They've run several throughout the years, 3.5 litre twin turbo. Tell you what, folks, we've got every class here this weekend, I think. I haven't, apart from maybe a little 1300, I haven't seen one of those here, but we've got a couple of Class 7s. I think there's about 3 Class 7s, a couple of Class 8s, everything from an old chassis patrol somewhere, all the way up to Hayden Bentley's four-wheel drive Demon, the 818 car, which we'll catch up with soon. We've got Kurt Steffen from Teagle Excavations from the Pine event. He's running his little Class 1, little 133 buggy. There's a few Can-Ams and Polarises lined up over there, I see. Also, I've got to tell you that the calibre of cars here this weekend is phenomenal. Phenomenal. There's normally, you know, we get a few of the lower class, should I say. I don't mean to put anyone down at lower class, but they're more the club car rather than the big Australian Championship sort of guys. But this weekend, I haven't seen so many high-end cars. There's something like 10 or 12 trophy trucks out here, Class 1 buggies. So it's going to be an awesome race. There is a few teams I'm a little bit unaware of. I haven't met some of these drivers in the past. I have met plenty, but not everybody. But I tell you what, I'm over here, a little 729 GQ Patrol. Came out last year. It was their first hit at it. They had a small run. I think Mumbana was the first event, wasn't it, Connor?
Yep, Mumbana.
And then went straight in the deep end of the championship round of the Pines.
Yeah, and that was a bit of a rude shock to us, but we learned the hard way.
That's good. I'm glad to see you back. It's awesome to see you back, especially back doing championship rounds. Championships rounds, hard, exciting, car destroying. How have you prepped the patrol this year? Done any changes from last year, or just fixed things that broke at Pines?
Went AFI this year instead of Carby, but other than that, just a bit of rebuild and go again.
Now this car is something that I own a few of, but it's just a GQ Patrol, pretty much. So Class 7 is a production class car, pretty much an off-the-shelf Patrol. Factory engine, factory gearbox. You run a manual auto?
Manual.
5-speed manual. They're a pretty tough car off the shelf, and you can pretty much do a few bits and pieces, but overall they've got to remain reasonably standard. So suspension, I see you got the Kings in there. I know you got the Kings in there. I know where you found those. Is there any other special things under this car? It's just what everyone drives to work every day.
Pretty well just standard, mate.
Bloody awesome. And I know you're going to have fun. How'd you go on the pre-run?
Yeah, something different, that's for sure. A lot more sand than I thought. But
The car will be working hard in the sand. And the dust, what do you think about the dust factor?
just close your eyes and send it.
All right, mate. We'll catch up throughout the weekend. Good to chat. Hey. Beautiful. He just tells me it was a bare shell a couple of weeks ago, so the boys have obviously done a fair bit of hard work. So 433, I know this Mickle Fab car. This has been, these boys have raced a few, these boys have raced more than just off-road racing, I've got to tell you. They've raced things like all the cross-country rally sort of stuff in the early days. I presume they still are running that sort of gear. So they've nicked off over there to do their scrutiny, but it's just another one of the Class 4 trophy trucks that you'll see out here this weekend. I couldn't even tell you what it's running because I can't even see in there, but I would think it'll be something like an LS, as they're a super popular engine out here. So. We could probably go for a wander down a bit further. Now this Barnett car, I know this Barnett car. I saw this Barnett car at Pines last year. Had a reasonable finish from memory. Craig's here. He doesn't want to chat to me, but I'm going to force him because you'll see him throughout the weekend. I do remember the car at Pines. I can't remember the finish at Pines, but have you done any big changes over the off season? It doesn't look like there's anything fresh and polished under there.
No, mate. It's a new LS3. Service the training and go racing. Yep.
Yeah, bloody awesome.
Yeah, no, she finished in pretty good order, so yeah, no, we don't have to do anything, to be honest.
What did you think of the first time at Rainbow?
No, we ran here last year. Got fifth outright here last year.
Oh, beautiful. How are you? What did you think of the track today?
It's a lot drier this year.
Yeah.
But it'll be good. It's going to get sloppy out the back.
Yeah, the sand chops up. I know that from where we did a recovery out there a couple of years ago, or a few years ago.
I reckon it's chopped up now where we finished last race. So we're going to start from there. So by the end of it,
I've got to tell you though, it's a lot drier than some previous rainbow events. We've been out here where the water's been atrocious, and the cars have struggled. A lot of mud and eyes and all that sort of stuff, which also chews out things like CVs and wheel bearings and all the stuff that you don't want it to chew out. So, all right, well, good luck around the track.
thanks, Andy. Thank you.
Enjoy. Loves it. Absolutely hates it. Which makes it more awkward and beautiful. All right, we might come back around and see Mark Hardman in a minute. We'll come around and see you in a minute, mate. All right, we may as well go for a wander down here. We'll get away from the music. It's probably a bit loud in there. I can see Heath Whedon in the distance. Heath Whedon's another Class 7, another South Australian local. He's run the Pines. We've done a few races against Heath in the early days. Hey, mate.
How are you, Sandy?
Welcome to Rainbow.
Yeah, welcome. It's back to see if we can do it again.
Nice. Engine issues. I know you were plagued with engine issues last year. I bloomin' hope it's fixed, mate.
Still running the same stocker as we did in the Pines, and hopefully the electrical gremlin's gone, so hopefully.
Nice. Is your first Rainbow?
No, we did one lap last year and detonated an engine, so yeah, hopefully 6 laps this weekend would be nice, yeah.
Your thoughts on the track?
Busy in the middle, nice and quick early and late, but yeah, very, very busy and technical in the middle.
I actually think from looking at it, I went round today and I saw that, the start and the end of through the trees there, it's actually pretty well suited to me anyway, my driving and cars. What about you? I think the Class 7s and 8s normally do pretty well in that stuff.
Probably the first 20 Ks once you leave the main arena, it's pretty much rally roads, so definitely suited to these cars, and the last sort of 15 or 20 Ks the same. So yeah, definitely suited to these cars, and just got to get through that middle bit.
Yeah, nice, awesome. And apart from that, you haven't touched the car, I presume?
No, I've done a bit. Yeah, no, it's a whole new chassis this year because we tore it up last year, so new chassis, new diffs. Yep. Yeah, pretty much. The engine's the only thing that's still in it, pretty much, so yeah, no, pretty much.
And so this is another Class 7 car, which is basically a production four-wheel drive?
Yep, yeah. Basically a standard patrol with a couple of go-fast bits.
Yeah, nice. All right, good luck, mate. We'll
Andy.
catch up. All right. I actually don't know. There's some drivers floating around here. I don't know where they are, but if I spot them, I'm going to grab them and have a chat. Not that we can go too much further down here, but we'll have a wander down. Hey, Wellesley. Everybody, this is Wellesley.
How you going?
A famous off-road racer from the what era?
Up for the 480, mate. Big weekend.
Can't wait.
Oh, it's going to be great. Look at the competitors we've got here. 60 of the best in Australia, mate.
I got to tell you, I saw the field and was blown away by the calibre cars.
Oh, I've just walked around and had a look at them all. First class. Boy, the guys have put in heaps of prep over the off season, that's for sure. But gee whiz, walking up there, going through all these cars over here, and all the new stuff it's about, mate.
Yeah, phenomenal, huh? And Wellesley will join us tomorrow. We'll all be yapping on the microphones.
Oh yeah, we'll have a bit of a yap. And if you're thinking about coming up over the weekend, come out, be here. It's going to be a nice dry weekend in Rainbow.
See you, mate. Enjoy the sausage sizzle. Darren Wells, he's been in the off-road racing game for a long time. So, wandering through these cars. There's a few people gathering here now, so it should be a big evening. We'll wander down and see if we can't grab some other drivers, if I spot them in the distance. There's a couple of cars that I've seen around the traps, but I haven't actually had a good chance to have a look over and chat with the drivers and navigators myself. So this is Hayden Bentley's Class 8 car, super fast, 39s underneath it. I can't even see Hayden in front of me. Hiding somewhere. Or off wandering. Everybody's favourite man, Sibo, and another Class 4 car. If you followed the off-road racing game, you would have known and seen Sibo around. He'll be hiding from the microphone because that's what he doesn't like a chat, does Pete? Wellsy's cornered him. Come in here, mate. Come in here, mate. Now, I heard you're a late entry. Why the late entry?
No, at first, eager entry.
He had the runs.
Now,
have you done anything to the car since you're out last at Pines?
We've retired black the tyres on as well because they were looking a bit shabby, and polished the paintwork, and got the auto fixed that only went 20 kilometres.
I had a little bit of gearbox drama earlier this week myself, so I understand that. This car's been around for a fair while now, and I can tell that there's not much goes wrong with this car. It usually finishes all the time. Who have you got in the passenger seat? You got Dee in the passenger seat this weekend?
A good wife in the passenger seat. It helps justify the expense. Happy wife, happy life.
Nice. All right. How would you rate the track this weekend?
If the high speed doesn't kill me engine, the rough will kill me suspension.
Yeah, it's pretty rough out the back when you hit the desert. The whoops are getting, even just after watching the cars today run over them, the whoops are starting to chew out already.
Yep, it's all about endurance. You just got to back off a little.
Yeah, and the straights, as you're heading from here out to the desert, the straights are quite big. It's kind of like even the Pines, where you've got a couple of big long runs which will allow a lot of cars to over rev, etc. So we even see at the Pines, as opposed to things like even Gundy, you don't see quite as many engines detonating on the end of the white metal roads and stuff. So hopefully that's not an issue for you.
Well, we're only geared to do about 175 k's, and that's screaming at about 6,500 revs. So
you're going to be doing that a little bit.
Yeah, so it hurts. You cringe.
Yeah. All right, mate. Good luck.
No worries.
Thanks, bud. We'll see you throughout the weekend again. The Foster car we saw just as we started up was going through scrutiny, and if I can hunt down one of these chappies, it'd be good to have a chat to the chappies. I can't see them. They've done a runner from their cars. Clayton's car 15 is running a 2J. Yep, still running a 2J. And I believe that Stuart may be running a 2J. So, and they sound, that thing sounds phenomenal on the gas. Sounds great. So, we've just got a couple more coming through here. A couple that we saw at the start of scrutiny as the cars start lining up and coming through. I just got to hunt down people to talk to. They're all looking at me, shaking their heads. They're scared of a microphone and a TV, but we'll get you. We'll get you. Well, folks, I got to say, the first round, the hype in the street here, the first round of the ARB Off-Road Racing Championship, Australian Off-Road Racing Championship. I've seen a face that I need to stop. This is Jeff. Hey, mate. Jeff is our man from Mickey Thompson.
Yes.
Once again, thank you very much for the support of the events, the championship. It's good to see you down here, enjoying the beautiful sunny weather down in Victoria from Queensland.
Yeah, it is raining at home at the moment, so I'm glad to be down here. It's bloody awesome. Great for the town, great turnout, it's lovely.
Yeah. What do you think of the track?
Haven't been around it yet.
Oh, didn't you?
No. I'm too busy putting up banners and signs.
I've got to tell you, a lot of Mickeys on cars out here this weekend.
Yeah.
A couple of other flavours, but that's good.
It is.
That is good.
It's good for competition. It's good for guys to try out different tyres and work out what's best. And yeah, as I've always said, I don't mind what people run. I'll still talk to them.
We hey. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We've got Raceline. We've got Chris Hummer from Raceline Wheels, which I'll hunt down later as well. You're right.
That's where he is. Where else?
All right. Thanks, Jeff. See you, mate. So, I swear these people, they see us and they run. There's a couple more floating about that we'll have a chat with. Here we've got a few of the Can-Ams. I don't know if these are current models. A few of these look like fresh over only in the last 6 or 8 months. They may be built for this season. I just don't. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know enough about the smaller these I call them golf buggies. I know they don't like it, but I don't know quite enough about their classes and stuff. So I'd love to have a chat with maybe, you know, one of the drivers from these teams. Looks like there's people everywhere here. There's some of our team here talking to those guys. There's old Pegleg over there. I spot Clayton Chapman, who I want to have a yap with. So I might catch up with him. Clayton. This is Clayton Chapman, brother of Stuart. We had a quick yap with earlier, driving the 15 Pro Class car. Still running a 2J by the looks of it, from what I could see. I didn't actually see it, but Stu running the same engine?
No, he's running a 4B11, so I have an Evo 10 Lancer. Little 2-litre V8 eater.
Nice. And I did race against Clayton back in Class 8 when we started out. I started losing my hair, and he'd just turned 16 or 17, and was racing Dad's Pajeros. Dad seems to have given it up for a bit and helped you boys get along the way and get going, doing really well. Enjoying it?
Yeah, loving it, eh? So still doesn't beat the Class 8 days are still special, you know. Good memories. So. Yeah.
And you done anything special to the car this year, just to prep and out here again from last season?
Yeah, we just nothing different from last year. The car was doing well last year for us, and just freshen it up, you know. Try and keep the reliability there, which is a big part in off-road. So. 1,000 horsepower is enough for us, so the 2J is good enough for that, and you know, I've got that switch for 2,000 if we need it, but no, it's good fun. We're just looking forward to getting out here to these big races, and it's good to be able to travel around the country again and hang out with all the boys we're used to, and just looking forward to it. Good times.
Your first time at Rainbow?
Yes, yep, first time here.
What'd you think?
Definitely rougher already than I expected. It's those fast roads, and then those big sandy whoops out the back, and so soft. It's I'm looking forward to it. It looks cool.
A little bit of a mix on this track. You got a few kilometres of sand, and then you're in and out some trees, and then back out on some roads, and then before you hit the desert out the very back. And that desert there's a couple of steep pinches there I saw on pre-run. A couple of cars were stuck, and I even had to have a couple of goes at one hill, but I don't think you'll struggle up those hills anyway. Even down through the tight trees, down through the river as you're coming back in. You like it? You don't like it?
Nah, love it. It looks. We're going along. It looks like every other track, and there's a piece from every other track, and a bit of Gundawindi in here, a bit of totally. Griffith in there, and we're just looking forward to it. It's just a bit of hard pack, bit of sand. It's got a bit of everything. I'm just super excited.
You'll be glad it's not raining because it's slippery as heck out here. Anyway, good luck, mate. Thanks for having a chat.
Thank you.
And we'll see you throughout. Cheers. Got a couple more trucks in the lineup. Got Mick Mayer up the front here, over on the right, in the TSCO truck, going through scrutiny. And keen punters to having a look here and there. So I can't remember. I did have a good look through the field this weekend at all the different classes, but I must say class ultimate class and class 4, all of the extreme two-wheel drive trophy trucks, etc. Quite a big field, and some blooming good drivers that have been around the game for a fair while now. So, go and have a quick chat. Michael Marzin's sitting here. Chris. Michael Marzin's car. I believe these guys just been over in the US. Mark, you want to have a chat? It's Mark Hardman here. You're hanging out with the Marzin crew this weekend?
Yeah, come down here with Michael and Chris, help them out, see if they can come number 1.
Yeah, but it's a big. You went around the track today?
No,
Mark?
I didn't go around. No, Mick went around.
Yeah. Mark's been around the off-road game for a fair while. Mark's four drive adapters and Hardman engineering down there. So, all right. Thanks, Mark. We'll see you throughout the weekend.
No worries, Sandy. Thanks, buddy.
These guys. Ian Terry. The car's changed colour, mate. It was white.
Still need that fuel tank?
I do.
I nearly brought it, I forgot again.
Ian Terry, Class 4 car. It was orange last time I saw this thing. It's come back with a crisp white paint job. New body.
Hello.
How'd you go on the pre-run, mate?
Yeah, it's good. Sandy.
It is Sandy, yes.
Thank you, Sandy. Very good, Sandy.
And how about the dust on the first section? Dust doesn't bother you?
Now, it's going to be windy tomorrow, isn't it? So it'll be all right, be gone.
They did say the weather's going to pick up a little bit, so if there's a breeze, it will be a lot better. All right, he's just going to move up here in the queue. Some of these trucks have been around for a while, pulled out of the shed every now and then. But tell you what, family orientated. I see kids are hanging off buggies everywhere, families everywhere. I see generations of people here that have been in the game since the 70s. So there's a lot of teams out here that have second and third generations coming through, to be honest. So it'll be good to see when some of these youngsters come through. These guys, they seem to see us and nick off, so we might just keep going for a wander. We can't really go too much further down there before we run out of range. But we sneak down here. There's a couple of cars that have been here previously. Chandler's 37 car, it was here last year. Actually, this thing just caught fire on out. We did a recovery point out in the back of the desert last year, and this thing stalled out and had a little power steering fire last year before the race was ended. And looks like they're back shiny. Everything's shiny and clean, and obviously prepped to the hilt again. A few different V6 engines, V8 engines, 4 cylinders. You'll see pretty much everything here this weekend. Another Class 7 car of the Forsman's car. I think Brett Tilson's driving this one, but I think we've got 3 Forsman cars all up. One in Class 7, Class 4, and a Class 2 car, for memory. Yeah, Class 2 car, they're all lined up, 1, 2, 3 here. So we'll hunt those boys down after and have a good chat. Sure. We'll chat to anyone.
All right, there you go.
Come have a chat.
Let's have a
What's going on here? Class 7, another production four-wheel drive, one close to my heart. Same car as last year?
Yeah, same car as last year. It's slight change in the motor, gone to EFI now, so a bit more power and hopefully drive through the sand better.
Yeah, the sand's going to be a power sucker, that's for sure.
Sure is, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty soft this year compared to last year. Already it's a lot more chewed out, so we'll see how we go tomorrow.
Yeah, I noticed we've had a few wet rainbows over the years, and it keeps, not only does it keep the dust down obviously, but it packs the sand a lot better than normal. Whereas today, going out up over a couple of those top of those hills, everyone had to stop and have a few goes. So
yeah, we had to have a second crack at one of them.
I did myself, both lockers in and a bit of a scramble up the hill. So, oh well, that's good. Good to see. They've got 3 cars in the lineup. In the four?
These 3 and
I missed the fourth.
number 10. There's a class 10.
Ah.
Beside the class 2 over there.
Oh, righto.
Yeah.
There you go. 4 cars in the lineup. That's good to see. Once again, family orientated sort of a group. You got who you got in the passenger seat?
I got my brother Chris again. He raced with me last year, so do another year and roll around. And
yeah, are you going to follow the whole championship?
Unfortunately, no. I can't do the next 2 rounds, but we will be at Millicent again. So yeah, we'll see how we go after the 2 rounds.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Good to see. All right, well, good luck for the weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Everybody is here. Everybody. I see names and faces that I haven't seen for a long time out here. So, all right. Well, folks, we're a couple of hours into scrutiny. Looks like we've got about half to maybe 2/3 of the cars through. Hopefully, with no problems. The guys, like I said earlier, they're checking for safety equipment and to get them through, check their gear, helmets and harness devices, all the safety side of it. And if there's something's not right, they might get a minute to get it sorted, or they might have to represent first thing in the morning with the car sorted if there's something not 100%. So we'll go for another wander back down here. I've got to keep moving around because everyone else keeps running from us or sees us, and they're off doing their own thing, grabbing a bite to eat. Or oh look, someone want to come have you up to us? Come on, Darren, you're in. What are we running?
Can-Am.
Tell me about it. So I was just saying before, I don't know much. This isn't my forte. I come from class 7 and 8. Tell us a little bit about them.
They're predominantly a production type car. Like we run. Well, I was running the class 6. Is all manufactured transmission, engine, and running gear. I've changed mine. I've gone for an aftermarket front diff to get a bit of reliability out of it, and that's put us into class 11. But other than that, they're all sort of pretty much things you can buy, drive around the paddock, take them in, put a roll cage in them, beef up the chassis, and take them out racing. So, and still be pretty productive, pretty competitive. Sorry. Yeah.
How long have you had it?
Oh, I got that in 18, and it's just coming up to 5,000 k's of racing now. So it's on its 3rd year on the ARB. So.
Beautiful. What did you think of the track out there? I know you've obviously been out here before, and these things do soak up the bumps quite well for a little car, and they also starting to get a bit of top speed out of them now too.
Yeah, they do. We're a little bit short for this track with the in the sand. We tend to fit into the hollows just beautifully, and we tend to fly out of them fairly well. So it'll be a bit of a chest. I've changed my suspension. I'll see if I can actually stay up on the bumps, but it'll just be a bit of a. Usually, what happens when I do that, I hit 3 tops and 1 bottom, and that puts me in the scrub. So we'll see how it goes.
You like the start and the ends of the track? I noticed out there today. Weaving in and out of the trees. These things are super quick in that stuff, huh?
Yeah, on the hard they are, and they're pretty predictable with the four-wheel drive, and that's why I've stayed with the soft tyres. On the hard, you can actually swing them through there without a lot of room, and they are pretty good. But on the soft stuff, not so much so, but on the hard stuff, they are very lively. So.
And they also, although the power gets zapped out of them in the sand, they're not real heavy, so they seem to still sit up on top and glide across the sand quite well. So overall, a pretty easy car and class to get into. Not that any form of racing is a low budget, but you can get into even a second-hand car for a reasonable $1 and have a whole lot of fun, not need a massive tow car, all that sort of stuff, and just enjoy yourself, hey?
That's it. They're a good entry-level car, and you can pick up good second-hand ones, and they've got usually 4 or 5 years, and they've still got plenty of life in them. And everything's getting dearer and dearer. But if you want a good entry-level car and you want to use it on the weekend as well, you can still flog them around the paddock. So. Yeah,
beautiful. All right, mate. Thank you. Thanks for the chat. I'm sure I'm going to learn more about these suckers throughout the weekend, and be good to see them out there. Thank you all. Can-Ams. So obviously there's a Class 6, the more the production, sort of like the Class 7s, and then you can open them back up and go to things like different shocks, different arms. They start changing classes along the way as well. Everybody has to comply with the same general safety off-road racing regulations, so they're constantly evolving. We've got new and improved things every year as far as safety. Most drivers and navigators now, from when we started off running single layer suits and work boots, now we're running Hans devices and things like gloves and full undergarments, all that sort of stuff. So protecting the drivers and teams pretty important now, and it always has been, but things evolved. So now we've got a pretty good setups on board. So these boys are deeply involved in conversation, but I might be able to break it up for a quick chat. Got a minute?
Yeah. Hayden Bentley, mate.
Yes, Hayden. How you going? Good. Sandy. I did race out at your property many years ago. Tell us a bit about your car, mate.
Racer engineering, all-wheel drive. We're sort of playing with new ideas and seeing if we can get quicker, I guess, like everyone. But just having fun mainly.
Now, I've seen a couple of videos of it. It's an absolute demon in the rough. What are you going to do out here this weekend? What do you think of that, the desert section?
I reckon that's awesome. So it was pity the whole track wasn't like it. I don't know about them fast straights to get there though, but
awesome for you with big suspension. Not so awesome for the smaller cars.
Yeah. Oh, well, they can fill the holes. We'll just so look, it's a great track. There's a lot of everything. All the varieties. You got quick stuff. Some of the trees look pretty big there in spots too. So
I did notice some of the trees they were hanging down a little bit closer for those taller cars, the bigger cars. Have you done any changes this year?
Yeah, we've actually been doing a bit of testing. We finally made time to try and make the big heavy thing go quicker. But yeah, so we've made some changes. We're quite hopeful it'll make a difference. And and this is the perfect spot to test it. So we're obviously keen. We'll be heading up the Fink again. So keen to get every game we can, and hopefully Sunday night we've got a grin on our face.
And a car that still goes nicely. Yeah. Now, what was I going to say? So tell us what engine you're running?
VR38 D-stroke to a 35 with a Fortin transmission. So just pretty standard stuff.
Pretty standard stuff for a buggy or a truck or whatever. Yeah. And cars in Class 8. So these tin tops, like my own car or cars, they're going to feel the pinch this weekend against this thing. It seems animal. I've seen a few videos of it, and it's just a demon. So
yeah, look, I guess in that aspect it's a bit hard. I'm not trying to make it hard for anyone else in Class 8, but
no, I wasn't suggesting.
Yeah, no. It's just that does worry me. I don't want to cause grief for anyone, but we're trying to keep up with the fast guys and get up the pointy end, and we just thought we'd give it a go and build something different. So, you know, at this point, yeah, we're getting it better all the time, and hopefully a bit longer, maybe it's the way to go.
Yeah, good. Yeah. All right. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Good luck, and thank you very much, mate. You'll see this thing. I'm sure it's going to dominate out there this weekend. Phenomenal run, 39-inch tyres. Some of these smaller cars still sticking around their 35s, and but the tyre sizes are creeping up. You'll see horsepowers are creeping up. We've got cars that are coming out here with what used to be, 500 and 600 horsepower. They're popping well over 1,000 on a couple of them now. But yeah, that was Hayden Bentley, Bentley Cabin Parks, and in his 818. I found Pup. Now Pup runs a Class 10 single-seater. How are you, mate? Your car's up that way.
Yeah, that way.
Probably out of sight. You have done a fair few changes over the last off-season. Tell me about it.
With my car change, yeah, it went from a Class 8 to a Class 10, and yeah, so...
Had the car now, 12 months? No, a bit more.
No, I've had it during COVID, got it, but obviously, we all did lots during COVID, and yeah.
So what have you done during the off-season? Tidied up things, fixed any issues, ongoing issues, etc.?
Yeah, just changed a few little issues, put a catch can on, and trying to keep the oil in the car, not out of the car, and yeah, that's about it really. Just tidy things up and big service, and yeah.
Done Rainbow before?
Did Rainbow National last year, and yeah, coming back hopefully to finish this one again, because it's definitely one to finish.
Rough, huh?
Very rough, very tough. I don't think you need to be going stupid fast out here. It's it's not technical, but it's
unforgiving.
It's very unforgiving, yeah. But it's definitely got some really good long straights, and yeah, it's definitely good. Yeah.
Now tell me what car is it? Tell me the car number. Tell me engine, what chassis or frame.
It's a Class 10 Jimco single seater. It's running an SR20 stroker, Nissan Pulsar engine, I suppose. Yeah, so with a Ford sequential gearbox, and yeah, that's about it.
Nice. And so these classes and cars, like I said, you'll see a lot of different V8s, 4 cylinders. Pups is a 4-cylinder. Well done, congratulations. We'll see you out there. Good luck.
Thanks, mate.
Chris Hummer. I first raced against Chris Hummer in an Atiko winch challenge in Narberthong.
Now you're going back, mate.
Old.
A long time ago.
So Chris is from Raceline Wheels, one of the major sponsors here for the weekend and for the championship. Welcome aboard. Thank you very much for your support.
Good to see you, mate. No, we're really happy to be on board this year, and we think we've got some good products. I mean, Raceline's been around for a long time, but they're launching some new Ford speed locks. So I think the way these trucks are going with the horsepower increases, they should be looking at them.
Yeah, crazy amounts of power. And like I was saying before, I've seen the power increases over the last 10 years in this sport from your 600 and 700 horsepower, and you're seeing and hearing of cars well over 1,000 popping up here and there. It's just phenomenal. The amount of dollars to get those cars to that point. They need good wheels and tyres. They need good suspension. They need good everything really to handle the pain.
Certainly do, mate. So we're, as I said, pleased to be involved, and hopefully we can showcase our products here. Not only the race products though, but also the road going, aftermarket Raceline wheels, which have some really good products in the market that we can get on not only the competitors' cars but into the mass market as well.
All their tow cars as well.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah.
All right, thank you, mate. Have fun over the weekend. We'll see you out there. Come in, Mark. Come in, mate. Come in. Where's your cars? Your cars are way up the end there, I think.
Way down,
I saw you've got 2 of them here.
Yes, so eventually 3 years of building this car, and we've got it going. So we're really pleased about being able to bring it up here and give it a run for its first go.
Beautiful. Now tell me, There's 2 cars up here. Tell me the numbers. Who's steering the other one?
So my elder son Matthew's in 1, 2, 3, so he's pro light, and the new car is back to 21 and pro class. So and I got my youngest boy navigating for me in that. So
Bloody awesome.
Tommy, yeah. So yeah, he's keen to get going. So we'll give it a run.
So you're saying this is a fresh car?
It's a brand new one. Yeah. So it's a brand new Monk fab built in Swan Hill. And like 90% Australian input in it. It's all designed here and everything, so be interesting to see how it all goes.
Engine
is, well, you can either call it Alloy Tech Twin Turbo or Cadillac, so yeah, so no, it's all working well. It's the engine we used to run in the other Pro car, so it's all the same.
And the Pro Light, is that that's not the old car?
That is my old Pro car, and we just took the turbos off that, and it's an Alloy Tech engine, but normally aspirated. So, and Matthew's been run that for more than 12 months now. He's done probably 5 races. He's been going really well in it. So, yeah, we're really pleased with it.
And you've been to Rainbow before?
I have, yes. Done a few real wet ones. But the last race I did before we started on this new car was here, and then since then I've been helping Matthew get up and running, and it's taken the 3 years to get the new one up and running, and so they're both here.
What do you think about the track, the first dusty bit?
Yeah, track looks fantastic. It's a really great event, this one. So, and the nice rough sandy bit out the back, so it's got a bit of everything in it, and the new pit area is fantastic. So spectator area is great. So I think it's going to be a great weekend. Beautiful weather, good thing.
Yeah, I see they've put a new spectator hill out here, so to accommodate for more people. They've put out a new pit area and a better parking area. So the facilities here are definitely coming along really good. When you look at some of the other events and what they put on, we're definitely coming up in class out here as well. So any different strategies this year? Anything like that? You give us some secrets, mate. We're here for the goss.
Yeah. So we've done a lot of testing at home, but there's nothing like a race to bring a car undone. So we're hoping to just take it a little bit easy with the first couple of laps, get a bit of a feel for the car and the track and everything, and maybe if the car's all working well and I'm still going all right, we'll put a bit of pressure on Sunday. So
yeah, the rough takes its toll, not just on your cars but on your body a bit as well. I know I've broken my back a few times, so I know that feeling. And especially being rattled around an old Class 8, but the suspension on your cars, wheel travel, shock brands, what's going on in there?
Yeah, so it's we're running the King shocks. They are American-made ones, and it's about, I think it's 22 inches of rear wheel travel, about 23 or 4 in the front. So a little bit, an inch or 2 each end than the old Jimco. So it should be better, I think. But it's probably not how much it's got, it's how well it's controlled. So we've got to make sure that's right, So, but look, it looks like it's going to be a whole lot of fun, and yeah, there's a lot of really good cars here. So you wouldn't like to try and pick a winner at this stage?
No, I've been looking. I can't pick it, and the calibre cars is phenomenal. Like I've said it a few times, and I'll probably say it 100 more over the weekend. The calibre cars this year for this championship is absolutely beautiful to see, really. Teams, the energy, the effort that everyone's putting in to get here. I hope the energy's still there at the end of the year for everyone.
Yes, well, ARB series has turned out to be a huge success, and you're seeing that now with all the best cars in Australia all coming to do this series now. So put on great races like this, and the other 3 rounds, all great events. Put a lot of work gone into them. The townships are all behind them, so that it's got everything going for it. So I think it'll be the one to be at.
And you're chasing a championship this year?
Yeah, so we're doing all 4 rounds. So we're doing all 4 rounds of this, and then we'll do the Fink Desert race as well. So that's the plan at this stage. So.
Bloody awesome, mate, and good luck with the new beast.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers. Need to cut some of these guys off. Here's a couple of likely looking lads.
Hello, good sir.
Hey mate.
How you going?
Now these guys race pretty much everything, really. Try.
Yeah.
How's the truck?
Pretty good. I haven't killed it yet, so that's a bonus.
They're in the 433 matching colours truck out there. Tell me a little bit about it.
6 litre ST6 gearbox. ID Designs, Mickle Fab put it together. Lovely thing.
What did you think of the track there today? You did the pre-run?
I did do the pre-run. Fast and then sandy.
It is a bit like that. Your cars are a shorter wheelbase than some that are the trucks that are out there, and I don't think the wheel travel and the whoops are going to worry these like your truck. Any others, like any issues regarding what you've seen out there compared to what your truck can handle?
I don't want to get bogged going up that hill, but that's about it.
I think everybody got bogged on the pre-run going up the hill.
Yeah. No, I don't see that many problems. My truck's a little bit skinnier than the other ones, so easier to flick through the trees, but all good fun.
Awesome. All right. Good luck.
Thanks, mate.
We'll see you throughout the weekend. Righto. It's guys from the Mickle Fab truck 433. We'll wander down. There's a few more cars now come through scrutiny. Take this 2 seconds of breathing to... I found someone that's of interest. Mick Mayer, the TSCO truck, the 482. Hey mate, welcome to Rainbow. Yeah, this is another fellow that I used to compete against in Winch Challenge back in the day.
Many a late night on an Outback Challenge.
And you've been here before. I think this was the first race you did in that car when it was brand new.
Second race, we did Fink and then we came here. It was a bit wetter then, so a lot wetter. We did pretty well. I think we got fifth outright. So
you should be comfortable in it. The truck looks amazing. You've done a lot of prep as per normal, like everybody has. Tell us about it. We can wander down. Do you mind wandering down? Yeah, no, we'll wander down and have a quick look at his truck while we're having a yap. Tell us about it.
I got it built in America and brought it over in 2018. Raced Fink and Rainbow that year. Had a year off to save some money, as you do. Then COVID happened, so we sort of had it parked up for a little bit. Did Fink in 22 and had a bit of a issue in Prologue. Last year we did 13th in Fink outright again, so yeah, we're going to have a real crack this year.
So this is it, folks, behind us. What engine's running in it, Mick?
Still a 6 litre, a Dugan's American-built thing, so it's about 750 horsepower. Run 40-inch BFG tyres. Just ate a fly.
I'll give him a second. So there you go, 40-inch tyres, folks. All the way, we still run 35s on our little Class 8 and Class 7 cars, just for the breakage factor. The axles and stuff in these things are massive, yeah?
Yeah, so they're like a Coke can, rifle drilled. They're just bulletproof, these things. You can break them. I don't want to know what you have to do, though, but don't drive one, you'll want one.
Now, you've been around the track, you've raced around the track. What are your thoughts today with a bit of a drier Rainbow track?
It's a good track, I like it. I like the rough stuff out the back, that's where we'll...
Of course you bloody do.
Yeah, that'll be our place to shine. So, no, looking forward to it. I've got a new navigator, Ray Farrell, that's come on with me. Yep. He's done a lot of tarmac rally, so he's been training me up in pace notes. So that's a game changer. So I'm pretty excited about trying that.
No, are you running any computers or anything in there? Anything different?
Yeah, so we've got the Lowrance, and we're just sort of learning how to use it properly. So getting some tips from some friends over in the States, and Ray's bringing his rally background, and hopefully it all works out. So that's the missing piece in the puzzle as I see it, to try and not be driving blind, because you're going too fast to just try and read the corners. Yeah. That's the plan.
Top speed out there, what's the top speed you reckon?
I think last time we were here, we got radared at 220 or something down one of the roads. So I've got a few more ponies now, so I reckon that's about it. I was going to change some gears, but that's fast enough.
You're right, it is fast. And so actually, a lot of people that I've done some rallying stuff with, they don't like going over 150k an hour. A lot of people like to pull up at 150k an hour-ish. But out here, I think the calibre cars this weekend, you're going to see a lot more cars well over 200k an hour on their way out into the edge of the desert.
Yeah, you won't be standing on one of those hay bales if you stop at 150, that's for sure. So, no, looking forward to it. Can't wait to get out there.
All right, mate, good luck.
Good to see you.
Good chat, and we'll have a quick look around his beautiful car. It's been 4 years in the game. Mick's done a couple of races here, there and everywhere. He's been in the off-road scene for a fairly long time. So it'll be good to see this thing. It's an absolute demon out there. It's a bit quieter down this end, and I can't see any drivers that I can grab to have a chat with. So they're all obviously going up and grabbing themselves a snag, I'd say. So I see a couple of crew from Buck's car here, car 95. Maybe I can grab them for a quick yap. Somebody free for a minute? Hey mate, how you going?
How are you?
Good. Tell us. I don't know much about this car. I can't remember much about this car, so you're going to have to tell the story.
All right then.
What is it?
It's a Ridge racing frame out of Waikerie, South Australia. And yeah, we had this car for about 3-4 years now. We've been running a few national events with the Motorsport Australia. This is our first ARB sort of series this year. Yeah, 6 litre. Yeah, it's pretty. We've done a bit of suspension work with it this year, and sort of got it right for the whoops. And yeah.
Tell me, are you going to do the whole championship?
Well, yeah, we're planning to. Yeah, yep. We're tossing up between the BF Goodrich and the ARB, so we thought we'd do the ARB. It's a bit closer and a bit timing's better for us, and so yeah, we're going to give it a go. Yeah.
Bloody awesome. Yeah. Now, first time out here?
Yeah, first time here at Rainbow. Yeah, so we're we obviously reconnaissance today, had a bit of a look. Our track looks fantastic. Like really, so we've got a fresh motor in here, and we're pretty keen to get out there. Yeah, so yeah, we'll lap that sand up. And
are you predominantly from a sand racing background? Like I took Shane Heemskirk around today, who's one of the boys from over near the Pines there, and he loved that sandy section out the back. But I don't know about the hard stuff. You raced. What do you raced on mainly?
Oh, probably a bit of everything, really. I mean, the sand's always, sand suspension. So, yeah, got to get that right. And we're still working on that. We've got a complete setup this year, focusing on sand and whoops. And but predominantly hard pack. Yeah, we'll lap that up. That's good stuff. So going in and out, that'll be fine. Out there will be, hopefully pretty good. So, yeah, we're looking forward to it. So.
Who's up here with you the weekend?
Yeah, we've got the Brett Richardson navigating for us, and all the crew from down Eden Valley. So they come up to, come up here. It's only 5 hours, but yeah, come up, have a good look around, and yeah, should have a good weekend.
Oh, bloody awesome. Good to see you.
No worries. Thanks. Thank you.
Welcome aboard the ARB Championship.
No worries. Thanks.
See you, mate. The Barnett car, we had a chat to earlier. Habies has gone for a wander. They're all out and about. We did have a quick chat to Craig Krog as he was running into scrutiny earlier. It's just run off on us. But I haven't really seen this car out here too much myself before either. So it'll be nice. It's all good. Cars going everywhere. Well, if we get a chance, we'll have a chat to a couple of these, couple of the event organisers from the other races of this championship coming up too. I see a couple more cars coming out of scrutiny. So we might wander down them and grab them before they run off on us, because everybody's just, they're parking up their cars and going for a chat and socialising. The amount of people here is pretty bloody good, I've got to say. So let's get down and we'll get some of these guys as they get out. We might be able to get a better chat with them before they nick off on us. Fantastic weather this weekend. Mid-20s today, high 20s tomorrow. And Sunday, I believe, is back to the mid-20s as well. Bit parched. Most of these guys, all these guys that are lined up and parked up here, they've all been through scrutiny. They've had all the officials look over their vehicles and now just relaxing, a bit of a show and shine. Hey mate. Good. Everything. What are you're driving, Brennan? You're driving a Class 2 car.
Yep.
One of 4, I see. I thought there was only 3, but I was told that it was corrected. There was 4.
Yeah, one of 4, and Andrew in the other Class 2 is getting his sorted and ready to go. So hopefully he'll be right for Hillston.
Yeah, nice. Tell us a bit about it.
Newly acquired. Had it for one race at Millicent. Did about 50 Ks before a tree jumped out in front of me. So we've had a new bottom front right arm remade and built in the meantime. So everything else seemed to go pretty nicely. So fingers crossed that we have
testing.
No, I got it back on its 4 wheels yesterday at 4:30.
Now I did the mistake last about 12 months ago, 18 months ago. We built a new car ourselves, and we literally started the car and rolled it on the trailer with 0 testing. It's not a good idea, mate.
You just never know, do you? Oh, like I said, it was going well at Millicent until we hit the tree, so the back end of it's okay.
Now, what motor is it running?
Toyota 20 valve, black top.
Yeah. Pretty popular engine.
Yeah, and a Porsche G50 gearbox, 5-speed. Yeah. So yeah, it's plenty good enough for what I can do.
Now the holes out there, they're good enough for these big trucks and buggies. How do you think you're going to go on the whoops out in the back in the desert?
We reconnaissanced around with Brett in the class who drives the Class 7, and he said just pop it into second gear and just roll through them, mate. You'll be fine. So I might take his advice.
And even those dusty runs on the way back in, you know, when the arena's actually quite dusty today, so we're kind of praying for a little bit of breeze tomorrow, and it's meant to be a little bit hotter tomorrow. So cars will sort of for temperatures, I presume. You shouldn't really have too much dramas on those fast roads, but when you get out in the sand, that creates temperature. Absolutely. So I think with a well-sorted car, you should be pretty right.
Hopefully.
Not
Fingers crossed.
not new car, but new to you. Yep. So yeah, it should be a fun weekend.
Yeah, well, the previous owners, the Tickners and Simon Tucker, they did pretty well in it. So hopefully that trend continues.
All right, good luck, mate.
Thanks,
Have a fun weekend.
Good on you, mate.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
One of the Forsman crew, that was Brendan. Him and his brother. Jason's in the 474 truck, and they have a Class 7 here as well. So, well, the action's slowed down this end because the guys seem to be. Actually, there's a 1065s. There's 1065 buggy coming down here. Bowie, who did pretty bloody well last year at the Pines. Not a slow Class 10 car. And in some of these Class 10 cars, they've gone from being a 1650 and they've gone up in engine size to let's scoot round and catch him before once he parks up. We might be able to get a quick chat with him. But these 10 class cars have gone from, some of these have gone from 1650s up to 2.5 litre, which is the 10. So when you have a look in you'll see their numbers. Things like 93 just here. That particular is an ultimate car. That's basically an open class car, should we say. And you've got the 10 class cars, which are a 2.5 litre. This thing's pretty superbly presented. And I've got to tell you, it's a pretty fast car, and he's not walking off without having a chat to me. Hey mate, welcome.
How you going?
Good.
Good to see you.
You too. You ready?
Oh, we're always ready.
Chasing the championship?
Oh, yeah, well, everybody does, I suppose. So, yeah, we'll just join the crew. Yep.
Any changes to the car from last year?
Oh, change the spring rate at the rear. Other than that, that's it.
Oil, I hope.
Yeah, oh, well, we did that too. Yeah. So, yeah, no, other than that, no, the car's pretty much exactly the same as we ran it last year.
Yeah, nice. And who's in the passenger seat?
My daughter, Ella. Come over here.
Ella's a bit shy. She doesn't want to say hello. Hey, Ella, you looking forward to it?
Yeah.
And how I know you did. I did see you come in strong at Pines last year. How long you been in the game? Tell the people how long you been in the game.
This will be our 5th year, I think, 5th or 6th year. So, yeah.
Running the same car?
Nah, different car. We had a Tatum, which we sold a couple of years ago and bought this Illumicraft. And, yeah, so I ran for 3 years in the Tatum and now 2 years in Illumicraft.
And straight to 2.5 litre?
Yeah, 2.5 litre, yep. It's a good competitive class and we like that size and I don't think I can handle any more power.
What engine's in it?
Oh, Honda K24.
Yeah, nice. There's a few of them. They're a good little motor straight out of the box. Standard motor or built motor?
This one's standard motor because it just keeps going, so we'll just keep running that for now.
Yeah, they do produce good power, these things. Gearbox? What gearbox are we running?
I run an Albans AGB 6-speed, 11.5 inch. Yeah.
And have you raced Rainbow before?
Yeah, I've done a fair few laps here, so yeah, I know my way around.
And you know how good and bad it is and isn't?
Yes, yep, yeah. I think it was last year. We only had, 14 Ks to go and smoked a CV, so far, but so close. Yeah.
Looking forward to the dunes out the back?
Yeah, a bit more power out there would be nice, but yeah, like you say, we'll do our best through there. It's pretty hard on the car out there, like trying to keep it going. As soon as you lose the momentum, it gets pretty ugly.
It will. So tell me the difference between these and the bigger buggies. And when I say bigger, more power. This thing will sit up on top of the whoops like they will, or this will get bogged down.
Nah, definitely it'll get bogged down. Like if you get a run up into the whoops, you can stay on top of them to a certain point, and once you start washing off a bit of speed, yeah, then it's front to rear, and yeah, anything can happen. Yeah.
And here with the whole family?
Yep, the whole family apart from my dad. Yeah, he's at home, so yeah, no, everyone else is here.
It's bloody good to see. Good family motorsport events.
Yeah.
And good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Have fun. And we'll see you at the end.
Oh, yeah.
I'll see you during the weekend, but we'll see you at the finish.
We'll see you at the end.
Righto.
Cool, thanks.
Bye. Well, there you are, folks. Another family-orientated car and team. We seem to have plenty of them here this weekend. Everyone getting involved. Glad I'm wearing a hat, I've got to tell you. The bald head's frying, even in the hat. So we've got a couple of... Well, it looks like we're coming to a bit of... I wouldn't say an end, but we're coming to the other end, the tail end of the scrutiny cars. I can't even see who this is with the sun in my eyes. Oh, that looks like a Pendlebury car. He's going to come round. Let's grab him. We might as well hang around down here and grab him while he gets out as well. Another car that's been following the ARB Championship last year and presumably this year. So we might see some... We do see a lot of familiar faces. I've been in this sport for now well over about 20 years in off-road racing, but in off-road altogether, probably showing my age, but closer to 30 years. And I've see people here that I've now known for 25 years, and it's good to see the camaraderie amongst all these people. This is a smaller Class 2 car, older frame. I like getting the opinions of these guys. I love getting the opinions of these guys on the track, because I know some of them love the track and some of them hate the track. G'day. And what do you think of the track?
I think it's a pretty good track, apart from the sandy part. It's a bit hard out there in a little beam car, but it's pretty good.
Older car, I've seen it about a bit. Tell us about it.
It's an old beam car made by Laurie. Not Laurie. Sorry, I forgot his name. It was made about 35 years ago, so it's a 35-year-old car. It's we've rebuilt it a couple of times. It's just a little Class 2, really.
But a hell of a lot of fun.
Oh, it's brilliant fun. Yeah, I love it. It's an awesome sport. Yeah.
Light to tow. What engine you running?
It's a 1600 Toyota, just a twin four-cylinder little thing. Yeah. Goes.
So, you know, folks, you can have a lot of fun in these little cars, and not only you don't have to boom and race the things, you can go and join a buggy club and have a whole heap of fun doing that before you come and do the ARB Championship. Where did you start out?
I started out in a little track, Geelong, like an hour away from home. It's not long, it's just a small little community, and you start out in small races and work your way up to some big events, yeah.
I must have done it backwards, because I jumped straight into an AIRC round, or whatever it was back then, one of the championship rounds, straight into Pines back in the day. But I've got to say, the small events are a lot of fun, and not only that, cars like this are super competitive at those smaller events, especially the sand events. They're a lot lighter.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like a small car like this, it is designed for smaller tracks. You can have a lot of fun at the big events, but it is a lot tougher. It's a lot harder, but the small events you can actually be quite competitive in a small car. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Harder on the body while you're out there, especially when I see those whoops and the when some of those corners out there chop up. You know, we'll go into a pre-run out there, and it's literally at ground level. By the end of the event, some of those ruts in the sandy corners, they're literally a metre and a half deep. And although they get graded at the end, when you're coming around on your last lap in a little old beam car like this, it can be tough work, huh?
Oh, it's so hard. Like some of the berms, they'll be up to here, and you'll be looking at the berm going, oh, wow, gets quite tough to get through some of the corners, yeah.
And unless you slingshot these things around the corners, you're getting pulled out.
Yeah. I actually got bogged, and I just had to dump the clutch a whole bunch of times and barely pulled out. And quite a few times you have to go in really hard just so you have the momentum to pull it around the corner. Yeah.
How long have you been racing?
Oh, this is probably my 3rd year racing, so I'm still pretty new at it. Yeah, my dad's helped me get along.
You've done a couple of championship rounds, I see, in the past. Yeah. I presume you're following the whole championship this year, or are you just having a hangout here?
No, I'll be going around to all the other races and giving the championship another crack, yeah.
That's bloody awesome to see, mate, in an old car like this, especially against some of your competition. Like some of the competition out here, especially the newer cars, they're super quick, they've got a lot more suspension, and as long as you're going at the end of the day, sometimes you just pull the goods.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, to finish first you must finish, is the old saying. You got to finish, and some of these bigger, tougher cars will just break down in the end of the day, and we can just keep going. We'll get more points, yeah.
Who have you got in the passenger seat with you?
His name's Ty, Al Girardi's son. Yeah, he's jumping in with the first time for me, because my dad's navigating for Matt Hansen, so I had to get somebody new.
Virgin here, and you bring him out to this track?
Yeah. He's raced a couple times.
All right, mate, well, good luck. Thanks for the chat, and have an awesome bloody weekend.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Cheers, mate. Look out behind you. It's actually not too bad of a spot to hang out down here if I can catch these people as they're swinging in. Simon Tucker, car 110, a Southern Cross Racing car. We'll grab him for a quick chat before he nicks off and into the night. How you going, bud?
Yeah, good, mate.
Welcome to Rainbow 2023, first round of the ARB Off-Road Racing championship.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, looking forward to it. Good weather for it.
How'd you go around the pre-run today? Did you go for a blast?
Oh, I missed it. I had to send my young fella and the crew around. We were just too busy coming out of Melbourne from South Australia. We had to do a dash to Melbourne to get some new cam guides put in the buggy. She had a bit of a flat spot there mid-range, and we had our reconnaissance sort of between Bendigo and here. The road was fantastic, so I'm rubbed up, ready to go.
Car's well prepped. Tell us a bit.
Not to get. We'll stir them up. We'll give them a go.
It's a pretty tough field this weekend, not just in Pro Light, but in nearly every class here has got some pretty good cars in it. I see our current or our previous championship winner last year, Brent Martin's here. Martins have got two pretty well prepared buggies up there, and they're pretty competitive outright. How do you shape up against their cars anyway?
Oh, I think we'll be just trying to learn a few lessons off them this weekend. Brent's just phenomenal. He's got good speed. He knows his car, and it's really well prepped up. Both of them, Craig. I'll have to catch up with him later. He's getting a little bit older, but he's still amongst it. He's But look, by all means, if we can keep the pace or close to it that they're doing, I'll be happy.
Yeah, well done. All right, well, enjoy, and good luck.
Thank you.
Cheers, bud. There you have it. Another Pro Light in amongst the field. We've got about We've got about 15 of the smaller buggies that I saw that although they're older cars, some of these cars, they're still quite competitive. And when you go out into those sand races, the smaller ones, King of the Dunes, it's no longer running, I don't think, or might come back, and a few of these local Adelaide, South Australian rounds, those little cars, the Pro Lights, the 1650s, the Class 10 cars, they're all super fast in those events. And as I've said, I'm predominantly from a Class 7 and 8 background, and although we've got bigger horsepower than these guys, their cars are super light, and you just can't get around on the sand tracks quite as good as these guys that are running lighter body vehicles. Some of these cars, some of the light ones, they're only like 1,000 kilos. But then you get up to the bigger class cars, and some of those guys, we put ours on the scales as a Class 8, and it came in at 2.5 tonne with the boys in it. So that's at 2.5 tonne at the start line. And some of the bigger buggies, they'll run well over 200 litres of fuel, some over 300 litres of fuel. And by the time you got that in the car, I know some of these bigger cars are, they're going to push near 3 tonne at the start line, Something like this X-Hauls. Hey, Jamie Knight. We'll catch up with Jamie after. That's an X-Hall Brothers car. Quite a snotty little thing too. But Jamie's travelled down from Queensland. So we've got lined up here. We've got still some of the higher cars coming through. We've got Matty Hansen coming through. We've got Greggy Gartner's just pulled into scrutiny, and I'm sure they'll fly through. These guys, there's a lot of well-seasoned teams here, so there's obviously a few noobs. They all come through. We were all a noob once, and these guys, they usually get a bit of grace to learn what it's all about. But these seasoned teams, they're pretty hard from scrutiny point of view on making sure these cars are right. The guys that own these teams and run these teams and build the cars, they don't leave anything unseen or untouched. We just got car 690 coming in for scrutiny. We might just follow them around. It might be a bit annoying, but we might follow them around just so we can get an idea on what these scrutineers are looking at as far as a safety point of view. They're looking at tanks, at tank fillers. They're looking at harnesses. They'll look at all their gear, helmets. They'll check helmets for cracks. Just running an eye over any random thing underneath the car to see if they can find, they might see something that somebody's missed in preparation. Make sure fire extinguishers in and current and in the correct positions. Safety being paramount, they have to have things like seatbelt cutters. They all need to be mounted. You'll see up here in the front of the vehicle, and we'll have isolator switches. There'll be an isolator switch, whereas in the reach of the driver and navigator up the top. Fire extinguishers, they have to have a fire extinguisher in each corner of the inside the car. They also have to have about, I think it was over 2 kilos of fire extinguisher mounted on the back of the vehicle. And we've currently, a couple of years ago, we bought in the blue flashing light. Prior to that, we only had an amber light, and which was a bit hard to see in the dust, so they added the blue flashing light. So we now have a constant amber light with a certain size on it. You'll also have a strobing blue light, and then your reds will just be for your brake. Obviously, they've got to be a certain distance from the roof line, or within a certain distance from the roof line for vision. What else have they got on here? You've got things now, we're running Rally Safe on board, so every car is equipped with a computer that you can follow online. You can download the Rally Safe app to follow all the action this weekend. We'll be going through that. We'll have that in the commentary box over the weekend and trying to keep you updated with what we see out in the tracks. These will have now a push to pass button. So if you come up on another vehicle within a certain distance, you can press push. Let's spit it out. You can press push to pass, and that'll light up on this screen for the navigator to see. So if they're following someone, the navigator will see. It'll flash up with the car within a 50 or 100 metres. I can't remember the exact proximity, and that'll give them notification if they can't see them in their rear vision mirrors, or hear a horn, or hear a radio call. So they've got a few different ways of communicating, but that's just another safety feature that's come in. Those computers will tell you if the car's upside down, if it's stopped for a certain amount of time. So at headquarters, we'll know what's going on basically before anybody else. So I've got to tell you, our crowd favourite, Greggy Gartner's car. Been here a long time, seasoned team. Rolling off the line. He's run Ford engines for a while. Now there's a man coming in here. He's probably one of the best presented teams I have ever seen. And I haven't caught up with Matt for a while. But Matty Hansen. Hey mate, can I take 2 seconds in your busy schedule? I know Matt runs a tight ship, folks. And you can tell by the quality of the car. I haven't seen you out for a while. We haven't caught up for a while. Where have you been? What have you been doing? Have you made any changes to the car? Tell us about the car, those that don't know.
Jimco, twin turbo Ford EcoBoost V6, so good car. We've sort of, we ran 3 races last year, just had a few problems, and we think we've sorted it out. Just a whole lot of wiring, just car runs a lot of power, and just getting all the electrical current to injectors, which is direct injection, getting the fuel and getting spark and all that sort of stuff. So we think we've sorted out. Had 3 days on the dyno sticks from Quick Bits and Shane Wilson, and yeah, we think we're good.
Nice, mate. Who's in the passenger seat?
Nigel's been navigating, Nigel Pendlebury. I think he's been in for about 4 or 5 years now. So yeah, he's. We're both really looking forward to it. We've had good experiences at Rainbow before, and really looking forward to the weekends.
The track hasn't changed much, as in the design of the layout of the track. It's a lot drier than what I've seen it in previous years. How do you feel? the dry, is going to change your strategy as such?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, there's been a lot of races here where it's been wet, and when it's wet, it's real slippery out here and the like. It's going to be super fast, like super fast. Like I think the average speeder will be pretty quick this weekend, so that suits us. I think the car's got good legs, and it's a cracking field here. Should be a bit of fun. Should be good for the spectators.
You're following the whole championship around?
Yeah, we are this year. Yeah, we're going to run the ARB series. Yeah, really looking forward to it. I think if you look at some of the tracks, there haven't been a Hilson yet, but obviously Gundy, Pines and Rainbow are three of our favourites. So, yeah, it should be good fun.
Bloody awesome, mate. I'll let you get on with your scrutiny. I'm sure they've got it under control, but good luck.
Yeah, mate.
Cheers. So, Matty Hansen, folks, he is one of the best prepared teams I know. He used to run a little BMW powered, was it a Porter? I'm sure I'm sort of right, being a Porter, but this car's phenomenal. He's had it a few years now. He's run lots and lots of championship races in it. I know he had a couple of little issues with, I think, fuel pumps at one of the two of the races, but he assures us he's got it sorted, and I know he'll be doing everything he can to get on that podium by the end of the weekend. The quality build of his car is just amazing. Like I said, he does run a tight ship, but if you're in the area, pop down and check it out, because when you get up and close to these cars, especially if you are a rev head, when you see what they're made of and the quality and energy that goes into building them, you'll be blown away. And not only that, when you see them and hear them ripping across whoops, it is next level exciting. It goes through your body. Here's a family man I have seen recently. Just here we've got, I call him King Brown. Danny Brown in the 42 car. Sponsored by Milwaukee, Toyo Tyres, ARB. The Browns have a massive amount to do with the ARB Australian Off-Road Racing Championship. They've been in the game for a very long time. Father Andy behind him coming in. I'm going to stop him. Just 2 seconds, I'll let you get prepared, but just 2 seconds. First round of the National Championship. You're excited. I know you know a lot of the background of the championship. You've got a lot to do with the running of the championship. Give us some thoughts on this weekend.
Yeah, it was a long off season, but like all times, you never do as much work as you should. So we left everything last minute. There's a lot of things I would have liked to have done before we got here, but we didn't. So we're going to circulate and hope nothing breaks at the end of the weekend. If we can be on the podium, it's a good weekend. If not, as long as we have fun, that's what we're here for. Yeah,
Beautiful. I see you've got Dad's behind you. Is that where he's going to stay for the weekend? It's always a battle, these two.
History repeats itself. He'll be in front of us on Saturday, and then I'll pass him, shower in rocks. He'll cry, something will break in his car, and he'll pull out.
All right, mate. Well, good luck. We will catch up throughout the weekend. Car's looking phenomenal. Both cars are looking phenomenal, and have a good race. Tell me what you thought of the track out there.
Yeah, it's a ripper track. We've been here, I think, 2 times now, and yeah, it's just awesome. It's got a bit of everything. The sand out the back is a real equaliser. The people that can hold on a bit flatter out the back, like everyone can drive fast in a straight line, which is what it's like getting out there. But the people that can go through that rough out the back, that's where it's going to be won. And look, I think honestly, Greg Gartner's going to be really hard to beat this year out there because it's just so rough. So if you can hold your pace over that sand out the back, yeah, I think you're going to be home and hosed and be hard to beat.
The calibre cars, I've said it a few times already, but the calibre cars here this weekend, I don't think I've seen, although the lineup isn't 120 or 140 cars big, the calibre cars is phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, I could probably name 10 cars that could win it. And then if there's not 10 cars that could win it, there's another 5 or 8 that could easily win it, and it wouldn't be a surprise either.
Oh, yeah, totally. I look around and go, everyone here, not everyone, but, well, everyone's got a chance of winning it, but, there's a lot of top teams that have got a chance of coming through with the goods this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Normally you come to a race weekend and, we're fortunate we run up the front, so we look at it and go, oh, hey, our competition this weekend might be, 2 or 3 people, and this weekend I look at it and I go, oh,
it's well over 10 people.
Yeah, 10 or 15 people that, at the end of the day, if they have a good run, could win it. So I think qualifying is going to be really important on Saturday because it's going to be pretty dusty. So I think if you can qualify in the top probably 3 or 5 on Saturday and have a really good run and be in that top 3 come Sunday morning and not have an issue, I think that's your best opportunity. But, I also said that Toby Price couldn't get in the top 5 at Hillston, so that proved me wrong pretty quick. So I don't really know anything. I don't know what I'm talking about.
All right. Well done, Danny. Have a good weekend.
With my hands.
Have a good weekend, mate. That's Danny Brown, folks. They are the 2 ARB cars, Danny Brown and his father Andy. They supported the event from the championship from day dot, and they've got some strong contention. Andy being a champion himself from back in the day, in the 80s, has been racing the whole time. Son Danny started off in a little rodeo and went from his rodeo in class 7, I think it was, doing some Condoble and 750s and that sort of stuff. Then went to a little Chenoweth for a while. They've got a little 1650 they played around in for a while. I'm not sure if they're still running that car, but I see they've got 3 generations here this weekend, and the old boy's not about to give up anytime soon. Scrutineering continues. It looks like this is basically our last 4 or 5 cars. So Yamaha next to us here. I'm about to get run over by people. It's a pretty busy area to be in. I try to stay out of the way because I know they've all got jobs to do. A lot of volunteers here this weekend, which we very much appreciate. Things like the championship, even just the races, let alone the championship, wouldn't go ahead without these people. Car 6684, just getting checked. Sometimes they'll pick some things that aren't quite right. You'll have to change some things, even down to things like emergency phone numbers on dashes, etc. They'll have things on their dash that, maybe from a previous event they might be picked up on that they'll have to change, get rid of, and they'll check the security, how secure things like the fire extinguishers are. Matty Hansen's car in the background. I'm tipping you're going to hear it all weekend too, folks. There's a lot of fuel coming out the back of that car, so it's running pretty rich. And I think we're about to push the last couple of our cars through scrutiny. Some guys are up there checking their gear. I might, if I get a chance, I'll grab one of these scrutineers and just have a yap and see what they're looking for. They're all pretty busy working, so I don't want to interrupt. I'll see if I can grab a driver in between their hard work here. Once again, these little cars can be used on farms, recreation. There's numerous different events they can do. They're light to tow, and they're bloody fast for a little thing, I got to say. Checking clearances, checking things like dates on harnesses, things that probably, some people in different motorsports don't know that has to be up to date. You have to have harnesses have a service life. They have a time until they've got to be changed. There's some stickers there, things that aren't quite right that will need to be rectified for the future. Some issues with cars if they're If they're spotted, they'll be put in a logbook, or a pass book, should I say, and that pass book that goes with the car, it'll have to be represented at the next race with those problems fixed. If they're not an immediate safety issue, but if they're an immediate safety issue, they'll need to be fixed before the car can even run on the weekend. So I just heard him say he's happy with that, so whatever they're doing. Another thing you might see around on cars, transponders. These are on all cars. They will be doing the timing. As you roll through the start and finish line, they'll record your lap time, how long you've been out in the field, for our scorers and our officials to get your placings in order. You've got to have forward-facing lights on all the cars, usually 2 forward-facing lights, a minimum of 100 watts. A lot of these guys seem to be running light bars, second bars. A fair few people will run a strobing, an amber strobing light, so it's a bit easier to see through the dust when someone's chasing them. So So folks, once again, just a brief break there. Once again, we've got the ARB Australian Off-Road Racing Championship this weekend. Round 1 out here at Rainbow, put on by our biggest sponsors, ARB, Raceline Wheels, Mickey Thompson Tyres. Those guys have backed and backing the championship this year. There's some names there that you've probably seen around a lot. There's names that you'll see around a lot in the future. We've got Danny Brown's about to pull out, and I think the last car in is the Grand Poobah of ARB, Andy Brown. And he's got his boy in the car there. Family orientated. They've got 3 generations here this weekend. I see other teams here that have got 2 and 3 generations about. I know Andy hates a chat, but he's not getting away without having a chat to me today. If we can shove a camera quickly in Andy's face, he's looking a bit serious, so we might just leave him. I don't want him to get grumpy with us, but I might race around and have a quick chat while we can. I'll jump in when he's not. I want to make sure. Hood's off so I can check all the equipment. I'll have to go through checking the safety gear. I think he knows how to operate it.
Still there.
Andy, I'm gonna cut in between them scrutineering your car, mate. Tell me, how long have you been playing in off-road racing cars?
That's a question. I started when I was around, I reckon, 17. And,
that wasn't the answer to the question. A fair while, folks.
Let's just go for a fair while, yeah. We'll leave it at that, eh? Yeah.
Won 1 million events over the time.
Yeah, won a few over the time. Yeah. No, it's been a it's a great sport that you can actually keep doing when you're half dead. So it's really good. Mm.
It's good to see you back here again this year. Hardman in the passenger seat. He's done a few races with you now. How'd you think of the track out there today? The soft sand up the back there.
Yeah, we had mudders on the car tonight, and I'm definitely going to change it to some all-terrains tomorrow. So. Yeah, it's pretty soft and shitty, but I think the cars will go well over the top of it. I don't think it's going to cut up too much. It'll be good.
You say that. The corner we were on last year and a few years in a row doing recovery, etc. It cut up to a metre deep, but it's still trackable. Like it's but cars like this size, they're flying over this stuff, no worries.
Yeah, look, it's all about momentum. If you can keep the momentum going, that they behave themselves and go pretty damn well in there. Don't touch the brakes and away you go.
All right, mate. So tell us about the car quickly while we've got a minute.
Okay, it's an Alumacraft, a couple of years old now. It's Albin's transmission. It's got a Nissan VK56 6-litre engine in it, which has proven to be not reliable yet, but we'll see. We've put a crankshaft in, it's got a little crack in it. I thought, it's only little, it'll be okay. Well, you see, the problem was, Todd Kelly builds the engine for me, and he said, it's going to be 9 months before we can get a crank. I said, well, I reckon I've got about 4 years left, so you're talking about 25% of my rest of my racing life. No, we're putting the old one back in, so away we went.
Right, nice. Now, I know you had a fair crack last year. I presume I would hope you're doing the whole championship this year, Danny and yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll try and be at every event this year, and absolutely looking forward to it.
Thanks for the support through ARB, and good luck for the weekend, mate. Thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure, Sandy. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. That's Andy Brown, the Grand Poobah of ARB. Literally the last car through scrutiny, and we'll watch him come through, park it up. VK56, one of the Kelly brothers built things. These run these things in the new Y62 Y62 patrols, and stroked out to a 6-litre. Phenomenal sounding engine, I know that much. So now there's people everywhere up here enjoying a feed, a drink, and a chat with friends. We might go for a quick wander around just as these guys park up, see if we can grab a couple of people that we haven't spoken to, and if we can just get a minute with them before we wind up. And we're going to do a live feed tomorrow, folks. Having a listen to that. Oh. So yeah, we'll go for a wander around. We'll see if we can grab a couple more people on our journey, and then we'll give it a wind up, ready for tomorrow. These guys are getting excited. A lot of people are pumped to get into this championship this year. It's been an evolving championship now. So, righto. So that's the last of the cars through scrutiny. I haven't heard of any issues. Most guys are all over it. They're getting good results, mate. Looks like everybody's settled in for an evening. I would hate to imagine the amount of collective horsepower here this weekend, because some of these cars running out, it's just a lazy 600 or 700 horsepower. But when you talk of things like Matty Hansen's, the Smoo car, number 7, that's a phenomenally quick car. I know that. He spares no expense and no quality. Everything is top notch in that thing to get well over 1,000 horsepower out of some of those cars. I don't know about Chappie telling me he's got over 2,000 with a flick of a switch, but I'd like to see it if it did. So, well, folks, I think being that it's now 7:30. We might wind up today's live feed. I've tried to catch most that I can. People have sort of settled into their conversations and their evening feed. And as the sun goes down here in Rainbow, round 1 of the ARB Australian Off-Road Racing Championship, we will wind it up, and we might catch you out at the track tomorrow. Stay tuned. I think we're coming on live at about 9 o'clock in the morning, somewhere around there, for the prologue. The guys will be in signing on at 7-ish in the morning, 7:30. They'll be doing a reconnaissance of the prologue track in their race cars, and then firing off about 9 a.m. for prologues, which will be in class order. So thank you very much, folks. We'll see you in the morning. Cheers.